everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Alex of coyotestarastrology, and this is my video for the new moon in Cancer coming in on July 17th, 2023, which is a Monday here in Los Angeles, California. However, please do adjust for your current location on the planet as that time and date may change. We've got some big baby crab energy. Well, I don't know about baby crab. We've definitely got some big crab energy happening in this chart. And for those of you that have been following me for a while, you know that I say that whenever we have dark Cancer happening in the chart, which we tend to have whenever Cancer is aspected by a malefic, and that is exactly what we're looking at here. So I wanted to get this out early because I do anticipate the emotional seas to be churning if they aren't already, which they probably are, but that will probably increase as we get closer. And that is mostly because of this big traffic jam in the sky. We have our new moon in Cancer at 25 degrees in opposition to Pluto, which almost makes it like a Scorpio new moon as well. But then it's also square the nodes, which I find particularly interesting because I am an evolutionary astrologer, so we will be unpacking that. But honestly, there is so many stressful things happening in this chart. It's crazy. Yeah, we have that grand square happening. We have Venus in a stressful position because she's stationing, about to go retrograde a couple days later. She's also square the planet Uranus. By the way, let's just have a moment of silence for whatever the fuck last week was and the week before. Since my last video, I feel like we've probably all been on quite the journey. I think that there's a few different things contributing to that. One is that we've all been navigating this final degree of South Node Scorpio, which has really packed a punch. I mean, I don't go out into the city that much, but I did on the 4th of July. God only knows why I decided to go to the city during a holiday, but I did. And I was just looking around at these swarms of people, and it was such a melting pot of different demographics and cultures. And as an astrologer, I was just like, as different as all these people are, and as much as I don't know their stories, I do know what unifies us all at this time. And that's that we're all trudging through the last final moment of South Node Scorpio. And that is bringing up so much for people. I mean, we are talking about the primordial seed of shadow for so many of us, especially because of the square from Pluto, making things extra intense. I don't care if you believe in astrology or not, you are going through a death rebirth process right now by nature of the fact that you are here having a human experience under the same sky that I'm under, right? We are all so cosmically connected and unified in that way. And we're all going through it differently. We all have different karma. We all have different fears, traumas, but we are all going through that. So cheers. Had to take a sip of tea for that. Okay. So yeah, last couple weeks have been crazy because of that. And also Venus went through her first square to Uranus, which was very weird, as squares to Uranus typically are. And that is her first of 3 squares to Uranus that she will make. So we had the first wave of that energy over the last week. And the week before that was the square between Mars and Uranus. So it's just been, it's been since the last video. A couple weeks of weird, up and down, intense energy, sort of taking us all over the place. And on that note, if you weren't able to make my Venus retrograde webinar where we talk all about this transit in depth, I give you guys a whole calendar of all the important dates of this transit, which spans all the way till October. We also talk in depth about the nodal switch. I do have that recording. You can email me at coyotestarastrology@gmail.com to get a copy. I did keep it affordable for you guys. It's a great webinar. So if you want to know more about Venus retrograde, hit me up and you can get a copy of that. Okay, so we have Venus square Uranus, that's going on. Mercury is also in a stress aspect in this chart. Mercury is square Jupiter. Mars is in a stress aspect. Mars is opposite Saturn. So anyways, I'm just breaking this down to show you that when I say that this new moon looks a little bit troublesome, emotional, and problematic, I'm not just saying that to be dramatic. we've just got a lot of stress aspects here. That also tells me that while it might be a little bit of a difficult buildup to this new moon, it is leading to a lot of growth, because that is the nature of squares. They aren't our favorite aspects because they are challenging. It's not easy breezy, but they do put us in challenging situations that lead to growth and can really shift things. So there's some serious considerations to be made here, in other words. All right, let's break this down. Starting with the moon. So the moon, again, is opposite Pluto. So we're looking again at big baby crab energy, or big crab energy, where we can be snappy, we can be feeling a lot. This is emotionally intense. We all know Cancer and Cancerian people, right? When they get emotionally overwhelmed, think of that, but then add in a dash of Scorpio because of the opposition to Pluto. So Pluto is going to be churning our emotional seas. That can also bring in themes around manipulation and power dynamics, particularly around relationships. And I say this because of the square to the South Node in Libra. That's where we see relationships take center stage in this chart. And that is the first time that I have mentioned the South Node Libra, because the node switched the day of this new moon on the 17th. So this is a very important day. And the energy around this new moon, a lot is shifting. You're going to see, as of July 17th, things are going to really start to get interesting. So, moment of silence. We made it through South Node Scorpio as of July 17th. So if you're watching this before July 17th, just a few more days, baby. Just get through it. Dig deep. Get to that North Node in Taurus. Get to the bottom of these things. Rise like the phoenix. Come into the eagle. See the wisdom. Get the prize and get the fuck out of there, because then on July 17th, we start a whole new 18-month journey as a collective through the karma of relationships. The karma of relationships becoming our primary focus. Wonderful, right? And this is extra potent because that makes the ruler of the South Node Venus. And what is Venus doing? Well, we know what she's doing. She's on a very chaotic and confusing journey, about to go retrograde on the 22nd. Square Uranus, meaning there's many plot twists on the way, many unexpected realizations and occurrences on the way, guaranteed. And definitely some drama, because she's also going to square Jupiter again. She actually goes direct square Jupiter beginning of September. So if you want to sit and watch me and David Palmer, the Leo King, talk the tea on this shit show of a transit, I just remembered, I got to tell you guys, we are going to do so on Friday, the 21st. I'm putting that up on the screen. If you want to buy tickets at High Vibe, I'll put the link in the description. He and I, we always have so much fun when we sit down. And when we saw this Venus retrograde, we were like, oh my God, holy shit, dude, we got to do this. We are going to sit down and discuss the ins and outs and what have yous of this incredibly interesting, I should say, transit. So yeah, check that out at highvibe.tv. All right, you guys. So anyways, this new moon is going to bring these Venus retrograde themes to the forefront for sure. Because as soon as that South Node goes into Libra, boom, Venus is the ruler. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing, but she's about to go fuck around and find out. Then that makes our North Node Aries, and that makes the ruler of the North Node Mars. And what the hell is Mars doing? Mars is in Virgo, but it's opposite Saturn. That means Mars is being blocked by Saturn. So let's take a few steps back, because this is a shit show, right? What are we looking at when we're unpacking the karma of Libra? To me, it boils down to sacrifice, because Libra is, to its detriment, willing to sacrifice for the needs of other people, their partners, their roommates, their friends, whatever. It's this very people-pleasing, oh, no, you go ahead. Oh, yeah, of course, I can not play music after 10 if you don't like it, or, oh yeah, we can eat at your favorite restaurant again. It's this very like, I'll always do what the other person needs just to keep the peace around here type of thing. And then we have Aries, which is like, you know what? I really actually fucking like listening to music after 10. And, I actually feel like we always eat at your restaurant, and I never really, this is stupid, petty examples, but it's the building blocks of what makes up this energy of when North Node Aries comes in. It's the realization that we have not been setting boundaries where they need to be set. We've not been honoring ourselves fully. We are not fully embodying our desires for the needs of other people. And this starts the journey of learning the give and the take of the needs of others and the needs of self that will last the next 18 months. And just like the Scorpio Taurus, it's a journey of figuring out how to do that. So this is all going to start coming up on the 17th. You're probably already feeling it, of this emotional traffic jam. It's emotional because of the Cancer. There's a lot shifting emotionally because of Pluto. And there is a clear change that needs to be made. I don't care who you are. I don't care what's going on. There's a change that needs to happen right now in some relationship in your life, where you have to look at what you really want and where you're really going, and the dynamics as they exist right now. If there are any unsavory power dynamics or manipulations happening, you may need to look at that. And by the looks of it, it's just going to be a little bit emotionally intense. Let's look at the tarot, shall we? Tarot card for this new moon is the Four of Cups. So we're actually going to go with the traditional Rider-Waite deck for this. Hold on, let me pull it up. Because I don't know. I love my deck, but I wasn't in love with the image that she chose for this particular card. I just think that this one illustrates it better. Okay, so in this card is ruled by the moon, by the way. So is this new moon. So just double moon energy. So emotional. We see this guy. He's under this tree. He looks pensive. He's clearly pondering something, right? So this is a reflective card that sort of deals with dissatisfaction and definitely taking like a momentary pause to consider things and having a little bit of difficulty doing so. You can see that there is a cup, which represents opportunity and abundance or whatever, being offered from the heavens, but he's seemingly either not ready, not interested, or not aware. Meanwhile, there's these emotional things in front of him, the cups in front of him, that he's also sort of almost feeling separate from, looking at objectively like, is that what I want? Not really ready for what's next, kind of looking back at what I already have. Don't really know what the fuck to do. That's what this card is sort of articulating to me. And I think that this makes sense coming back to our chart here. So that chart is here, that card is this third decan here of the moon, 25 degrees. That's the Four of Cups tarot. And it's in between the past, relationships, and the future, destiny, where we're going, and fully honoring who we are. And then we have change and a rebirthing that's happening. So we're going to be almost, it's kind of like a crossroads, right? But it looks like an emotional one. And then going to the other aspects in the chart, we really got to be careful that we don't express ourselves too dramatically, because Mercury is going to be square Jupiter. It's another reason that I got this out a little early, because this is actually going to come in the days before most directly. This is drama central. I mean, Mercury in Leo is already dramatic. You square it by Jupiter, look out. So people are going to be a little over the top around this time. And then again, the Mars opposite Saturn, this is at the very least bringing up a need to look at matters seriously, but it definitely can also suggest frustration, because Mars, again, is our sovereignty and our ability to get moving. It's our direction. It's where we want to feel free, especially when it's the ruler of the North Node. And to have Saturn opposing it, blocking it, that could manifest as somebody in your reality playing an authority figure, such as a landlord, a boss, the government, a bureaucratic entity, or it could simply be circumstance, like wanting to move forward with something and something making you feel like you can't, or that you got to go slower, or you got to play it by their rules or whatever. And there's a lot of that actually happening here, of like feeling like we can't do something that we want to do, wanting to move forward in a certain direction, but relationship stuff needs to be sorted out. Like, it's definitely a little bit of a shit show, not gonna lie. But that being said, it is a new beginning. A new beginning in Cancer. No, seriously, it is. And we always, no matter what the aspects, we always want to be very, very intentional with these new moon moments, because we know from experience, right, you guys, that these new moons do carry with them a wave of energy that climaxes 6 months from now at the full moon in Cancer. In this instance, we want to be looking in the direction, of course, always, in the North Node in Aries, understanding that it looks like there may be some things to figure out as far as balance in our relationships. Some of this, by the way, might be happening for people on the home front because of the Cancer element. So this could be home or family, where we live, things happening at home, whatever. Also look at where Cancer rules your chart, because that'll also show you more information for you specifically. But it looks like, there's some things to figure out within the dynamics in our interpersonal relationships, for sure. And we want to utilize this new moon potentially in a very positive direction. What if you use this new moon with the knowledge that you have to really gracefully step forward with emotional maturity, despite what you may be feeling, maybe having difficult conversations, setting some beautiful boundaries, communicating your needs, getting things out in the open, hopefully not signing any contracts and relationships, because we know Venus is about to go on her journey, right? So there's a way to approach this, and we just want to do so carefully, I think, given the energies at play. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are interested in a reading, I am available for those at the moment. I actually have a very short wait list because I've been focusing on workshops so that my wait list would shorten, because I know how frustrating that is. It's actually frustrating for me too. So I may even have a slot or two left in July. I honestly can't remember, but I'm putting my information up there on the screen. Reach out to me at my website, coyotestarastrology.com. Click on book a reading, and that will direct you to my email. And if you don't already follow me on Instagram, find me there at Earth2Coyote. All right, everyone, have a safe and beautiful new moon, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.